This is Constant Elevation, the show for rising Air Force and community leaders who seek to define the future. Learn powerful work and life tactics to tackle any challenge. I'm your host, Gabriel Gabrock Avila. Let's go. One. Welcome back, everybody. Gabrock back in the mic once again. Welcome to Season 3, Constant Elevation. Happy New Year. Happy 2021. We made it. It goes without being said that 2020 was a hell of a year. A lot of things I was been marinating on. Recorded my last episode right before I went on vacation with my family. A much needed vacation. We traveled very safely to Nevada. Traveled very safely to Arizona. Safely spent our time with our family and friends, and it's been amazing. We got back yesterday. Like 9-ish at night, something like that. Today is actually January 1st when I'm recording this, and had a lot of time to think. It was good. It was good to just kind of get my mind right because I wanted to approach this brand new year with a good mindset, and I had the right ingredients. I had my family, my friends, got some fitness in there. Got to go on a couple awesome hikes out there. We did Red Rock Canyon in Las Vegas, and then we did McDowell Mountains in Arizona. And so that kind of definitely left a lasting impression as far as how much I'm pretty sure Arizona is going to be potentially the location where we want to retire. Not sure where in Arizona. The wifey is leaning more towards Flagstaff, but I know something about the Arizona and the West Coast kind of lifestyle that just kind of resonates with us. And so that was good to kind of have that refreshing perspective. Very obviously very different from back here in Maryland. It's been raining almost all day yesterday, and it is what it is. And so, so came back last night, had a low-key New Year's, didn't really do anything special. We actually stayed up to watch because our body clocks are all off, and so we stayed up to watch the really weird Happy New Year's things going down in New York. And so it is what it is, right? And so woke up this morning and decided to straight out. I was like, I'm going to record a podcast. I already had a couple thoughts. Actually, watching the New Year's countdown things made me is the topic of why the title of this episode, is called "Hope is Not a Course of Action." And the reason why I want to talk about that, something that was going through my head, when I talked about going into 2021, I was already on my grind trying to figure out what I wanted to do, making plans, coming up with some initial challenges for myself. What things do I want to get focused on? What things are most important to me? Because I had time to think about that, and it was real. That's why I needed the vacation, to make sure that I just needed to recharge my batteries, both my mind and my body, and then figure out exactly where I wanted to tackle it, what I wanted to tackle in 2021. And so when I was watching the countdown stuff last night, the one word that kept on saying is we're wishing for a year full of hope, and it was a lot of hope. Hope was the word that I heard often across a couple channels when I was kind of going back and forth. And my gut reaction was like, I don't want to hope for anything. I don't want to hope for shit in 2021. I'm going to get after things in 2021. And so, and we always joke around at work, like, hey, so you worked on this project, or you're training for a competition. Do you think you're ready? I hope I'm ready. Yeah, hope's not a course of action or COA. Hope's not a COA. You put in the work. You put in the work for what is most important to you to make sure you get after that. And I think that kind of hit me it hit a certain way last night when I heard Ryan Seacrest or whoever. Definitely don't know who are all these popular people. There's a bunch of performers on there. Who did I know? I knew Megan Thee Stallion, and I knew one maybe other person. I didn't really know anybody there, so because I'm old, so it's fine. But the idea of It was just interesting the vibe that they're going there. And to think about, there's nothing wrong with hope. Let me caveat that. Obviously, hope is a great thing. But as far as hope giving me a sense of purpose or something like that, like, no, it's not. It's passive. The word hope to me is too passive. What I want to do with my life, and I believe that all of us here, that we can take a different angle in 2021, is don't just sit idle. You have the power to make so many positive impacts in your life, for yourself, for your family and friends, or even professionally at work, and the airmen that you lead. Make sure that you are going to be an active participant. Don't hope things are going to go well. Contribute to them. And even if it means you have to learn a new skill set, or you have to just kind of dust off something that kind of got a little bit rusty and you need to get back on the saddle, then do those things. But you're not going to hope there, be like, well, I hope I'm going to be able to squat that 225. Like, no, just go fucking squat the 225. That's what you got to go do. And so, yeah, again, hope isn't a bad thing, but it's too passive for me. I want 2021 to be full of positive actions. I wanted to be full of positive things going out there, just making a change. And so I went into my bullet journal. I think I started it that morning of New Year's Eve. And I wrote down that, like, I don't have to say much about, you could just write down 2020. And then everybody's going to have like all these immediate memories. So I didn't have to dwell on that. So I wrote about all the things that I was thankful for last year, because I had a lot of great things to do. I was still thankful for my fitness and my family and my health. And so all those things were just immediate, that I was able to, navigate the year, and with my own health, my family's health. I was able to think about, like, doing this podcast, releasing all the episodes, releasing and sharing my book, selling out the first run in 11 days. I was thinking about being a good coach at Revival Fitness, and making sure I'm how much I was thankful for those opportunities. Successfully pretty much performing at an O6 level for an entire year, leading a division at work, and then starting a new job when I return to work on Monday as an O6 equivalent as another division chief. And so a lot of other things in my journal that I purposely wrote those things down. So because I wanted to give myself some of that initial motivation, but then follow through with discipline, because, like, all right, so cool, you thought about all this stuff. What are we going to do now? And so now I have some other stuff I'm already actively going to go through the rest of this weekend trying to get after. And so, like I said, family and friends remaining a top priority, still going to be it. I hung out with my soul brothers, Ryan and Gilbert. I hung out with my actual brother, Travis. All those kind of things going on just kind of grounded me, as far as these are the most important things to me. I can kind of filter out some other just bullshit things that just take up my time. And so by keeping my family and friends as a top priority and making sure those things take up my energy, that's going to be the stuff that's going to keep me on that positive momentum and on that upscale to make 2021 a successful year. I'm relooking at my finances. I think most people do this anyway. And so I was like, relooking at our bills. What stuff can we get rid of? What bills can I pay off? What are some short-term goals? We briefly talked about at the dinner table, maybe we're going to try and go to Disney World. And we started floating out with the cousins, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we all went there? And we talked about, like, our different experiences when we went last year around Thanksgiving. And then some other family members went during the summertime. Two vastly different kind of experiences. But our kids are all older. It could be really awesome. And so how do we plan for that? How do we save and budget to make sure that we can kind of take advantage of the things while we're living here in Maryland? Because we live here in Maryland, it's going to be a cheaper flight. But yeah, just whatever things we're going to be doing, making the other goals. Obviously, our daughter's a junior now, and then our sons will be ninth grade next year. So, higher education is on the horizon. So how do we plan for those things? But also, what are the things that my wife and I are going to do? What are we plan on trying to figure out how to through hike the Maryland portion of the Appalachian Trail. That is something we want to do in 2021. And so since we live here, and so now we're going to figure out that plan. It's not necessarily expensive, but it's not cheap either. And so we just have to figure out what that means, and let's prioritize spending our money on the right things that give us that kind of positive feeling that we want to make sure we check those boxes, because we know it's going to be an unforgettable adventure. So fitness is still going to be something both for my own personal physical fitness, as well as me being a coach. So some of the near term, very, very near term, and like 3 weeks is where I'm competing in the Baltimore Open. And so I'll be representing Iron Athletics weightlifting, and it's going to be an awesome weightlifting competition. Looking forward to that. I think I'm going on like the last heat though on Sunday at like 6 p.m. I'm not happy about that, but it is what it is. Maybe that's where they think all the 40-year-old dudes need to lift, because we need more time to warm up. That's also very true. So I'm looking forward to competing for that. But I'm already looking at the, continuing doing weightlifting, because I still believe that gives me some of the best feelings I can get as far as pushing my body and my mind. But also trying to figure out if maybe like I really was into obstacle course racing. I like doing the Spartan races, the Tough Mudders, something about, again, weightlifting and running. Two very, very different and opposite sports, but I love them both. And so I like that the randomness, and you never know what's going to happen when you do one of those OCRs. And so maybe I'll search for one, hopefully hopefully that's funny, when 2021 comes around and they start hosting races again, then I will sign up for those and train for them. I like just having some of those things to kind of train for. And then also just easy stuff. And most of these things we're talking about are just small habits. Like, for instance, one of the habits I'm going to have is I'm not going to have beer in the house anymore. But and so only when I go out will I have a beer. So I know that that's not a spoiler. Like alcohol negatively affects your performance, and so I can cut some of that out and then see where that goes and just try to make those small adjustments for my lifestyle. Looking forward to my birthday in a couple weeks. And so like I'll be doing my birthday WOD is every 30 seconds, one bear complex at 135 pounds. So I don't have to do a strict bear complex. It could be like a cluster into a back squat, into a press, and then you're fine. But I have to do it every 30 seconds for every year I'm alive. So this upcoming year, I'm doing it with the homies Chris and Jim out of Revival Fitness. Chris, actually, him and I, we're birthday brothers. We're both born on January 16th. He's 1 year younger than me, so he's going to turn 40. He did it with me last year, so did Jim, and so we're going to do that in a couple weeks. And so just trying to figure out, just keeping it fun, obviously, making sure that our fitness things are something that bring us joy. And I know that I can find those spaces, but I'm deliberately training for all these kind of things. Right here outside the shot is this spin cycle that the wifey bought. And so like she's going to be into that. I will try it. And I'm probably not going to like it. I have an assault bike in the garage. I'd much rather do that than the spin thing. But I'm going to try it just to add some different kind of flavor into the repertoire. But yeah, all these things I just talked about, I'm going to do them. I'm not waiting for like, I really hope, I hope 2021 has fitness in mind for me. I hope my finances are going to be okay. I'm not going to hope shit. Like I want to make sure I'm an active participant in this thing. And so that's what all of us should do. If you're creating your action plans, we need to have another conversation in 4 months from now. Like how far have you made it on your action plan? I'm not big on New Year's resolutions because I just think that there are things, most of the stuff I've already talked about are already part of my life. I'm just kind of fine tuning things a little bit here, or I'm creating some short-term goals because I don't need the lofty things of, lose 30 pounds or whatever. Like none of those need to happen. I think through my natural, just trying to put positive things in the air, being a good leader, being a good coach, being a good human being, those things are going to reveal certain challenges in front of me where it's going to be, hopefully some of those challenges are going to be very scary to me. And hopefully some of them are going to be kind of just in my wheelhouse. And I just add them to the whole thing. As I talked to many family and friends over vacation, they were actually surprised. They're like, how do you do all that stuff? How do you have like a full-time job? And then you do your podcast and you write a book and all those kind of things. Like, I don't really know. I just got to prioritize my time and I make sure I get them all in. And I don't think any of my pillars of my life are suffering. And so, or else I definitely know, like my family friends would tell me about those things, or at work, they'd tell me. But for now, I think I'm doing okay. So I'm going to maintain that same path. I'm making mistakes along the way, and that's okay. But I want to make sure that I'm contributing positively to the world. That's going to be a big thing. I will find more things to be like last year. I picked up 224 pounds of trash in my neighborhood. I don't know if I'm going to do that specific one again. I may just incorporate it just on when I want to go out for a walk, not necessarily document it or anything like that. But like I want to find some ways that I can help the earth and making sure I'm contributing in some manner that way. And so, also, it's kind of funny. I was talking to the wife last night. So whenever I come back from vacation and you're used to living out of a backpack or a suitcase, you kind of forget, like, I don't really need any things anymore. I don't need it. I open my drawers of all my clothes. I'm like, I like all my stuff, but it's like a whole thing of, do I need all these things? I'm not really sure. And so potentially there's going to be a purge coming up soon for me. So maybe I'll try and flip them. I'll try and sell stuff on eBay or Poshmark or whatever it is. Or donate the things that make sense. But that's going to give me even more joy because I'm just kind of decluttering my life. And so those kind of things is all courses of action I'm going to take actively. I'm not going to hope anything. I want to take action. So I wanted to get these thoughts on you. I hope you guys had a safe and happy new year. I might like shotgun record like several episodes. I have a bunch of thoughts in my head, just got to organize them all. You might start to see some differences in the audio as far as like maybe the intro music. The homie Ryan, I'm going to go in the archives and see if I can remix one of his songs again. And then maybe it's just some of the graphics because I like doing some of the art kind of stuff. And so I'm looking forward to it, man. And so thank you for everything you guys have given me in 2020. I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you in 2021. If you have any ideas or want to have some advice, please get at me across all the social media. If you can email me however you want. But I'm not going to hope. Don't hope for shit. Get out there and make 2021 happen. Peace.